What's the way world? What's super? It's the one and only spaceman, a.k.a. the space love. Peace and space love is how you conquer hate. Peace is how you conquer war. Space means stay on top of whatever the hell it is that you're doing or protect the space that you're in. Back to a Space to Space podcast. Talking about a redemption space tonight. And like I like to try to properly do moving forward with Space to Space podcast, like my original plans were, I like to give you the definition of the word. I like to give you the definition of the word. I like to give a personal definition and meaning, and I like to show you how I institute the word into my own life. So the definition given by Google, next episode, I'll probably give you the Webster's Dictionary definition. But the definition I got for Google for y'all tonight is redemption: the action or saving of being saved. The action or saving or being saved from sin, error, or evil. That's one. Second, the action of regaining or gaining possession of something in exchange for payment or clearing a debt. That's the word redemption. And it was important to me to put emphasis on the word redemption on this Space Space podcast episode. I'm a Scorpio. You notice by the big Scorpio hat or in the introductory episode. And one foundation of being a Scorpio or a Scorpion, 11/15/1987 in the building. Yes, big Scorpio, never the little one. Is we are seen as very vengeful members of the zodiac. I think we are all vengeful kind of in our own right. We feel offended by something or somebody does something to us egregious or disrespectful. Seems like a matter, especially being a male, to address the disrespect or whatever it is that was done to you that was nasty or distasteful, to address it, and in some cases to repay the action that was committed against you. Because for every action there's a reaction, as we've all been told since we were knee high to a grasshopper. But when it comes to me personally, redemption, it's been going through a little trying period lately, just to be completely honest with everybody. And excuse me, y'all, got Color Purple on in the back. One of my favorite movies of all time. I just here recently went through a current situation. I can't speak too much about it. One of my phrases that I've come up with is when there's an open case, there's a closed conversation. And you have to close the conversation when you have an open case. So there's a lot of things I can't say toward the matter that's at hand right now. But during the aftermath of the event that's led to the current events, I have to be present for this coming up week, to be precise, Wednesday to be precise. I felt like I was kind of like, I've been told by multiple places I've been employed at, that sometimes it's what's called a landmark fire or a landmark termination. It's actually a professional way of saying they terminate you or they fire you from your current position, especially when you have a reputation for being outspoken, maybe outgoing before outspoken. And any inequalities around you, it's hard to resist to not speak on them, because when it's a part of your character, when it's in your genetics, your personality, you as a person, how the Most High created you. And during that situation or whatnot, I felt very embarrassed, very humiliated, crucified to a degree. I mean, I'm still alive and well. But when I say crucified, just let me put emphasis on that. I'm not I don't do a chosen religion. I say the Most High when you hear me in conversation, when you talk to me. I'm not a man that is high on religion. I am a person that is high on faith. Because without faith, religion is null and void. One of the bases of religion is to pick a higher power that we are taught by the chosen text, the book which is aligned with that religion, and we're taught to have faith in that higher power. And I personally believe that no matter what do you say, Allah, Buddha, God, it's all a higher power at the end of the day. It's all about having faith in a higher power, but it's also about having faith in self. And I believe that's one thing that these religious texts, these religious books, they are subliminally teaching us, but we don't really perceive it in that. We perceive it in having faith in the God or higher power is according to that religious text that you follow or you study or you practice. I'm a firm believer in a higher power, and but I do believe that we also have to have faith in self. And during this situation, I'm saying that to say this. I don't particularly know the intricate story of Jesus. I've read the Bible twice, I want to say, and I had a traumatic brain injury in 2012, so I lost a lot of my memory about certain subjects and topics. But he was crucified by his own people on the cross. But he also has been taught to us that he was sacrificed for our sins. I paint that analogy to say you can go from being elevated in the manner of being seen a certain way by your hometown, your loved ones, your closest associates, those that know you in a certain manner in regards to an establishment or a business where they respect you a certain type of way, because especially in my scenario where a lot of these places are places I was employed in my hometown, Yanceyville, North Carolina. And in this current situation, for somewhere which is my hometown, Yanceyville, North Carolina, I've been to Job Corps. When people ask me where I was from, I said Yanceyville, North Carolina. They asked me was that near Greensboro. Which it is, technically speaking, but I had to put emphasis on Greensboro to give them a light of where I'm from. Even when it comes to my music foundation, Young SPaceMANN, you can actually listen and stream my music on YouTube. Young SPaceMANN, I Am So Super, my debut album. You can find me on SoundCloud, Young SPaceMANN. You can find me at The Space. And my government name as well. I don't want to give out too much of that, but Terry, capital of Virginia, you figure out Virginia. You also find me on Reverb Nation, www.reverbnation.com/SpaceMann23. You can also purchase my debut album, I Am So Super, released in 2012, October, at cdbaby.com, Google Play Music, Xbox Live Music, the list goes on. But I speak of that to put it in context with what I'm meaning by for you to go out into the world, society, and carry a flag of where you're from. And when you get energies or you get opinions from those close to you about representing what is your hometown, trying to surge it musically so you can bring awareness to the city that you're from, let people know that you're from a very beautiful place, beautiful environment, kind of a slow moving city. We're very low on opportunity. There's not a lot of opportunities. And a lot of people get stuck here in a sense. So sometimes I say to do a why. You're doing something that you do, or you be stuck asking why. I ask why sometimes myself too, but we're all on a mission to find the answers to the questions that we have. So also, as I've been educated on, know our why. What it is that we're here to do. What is our goals, our dreams. What do we seek to accomplish? What do we want to be our lasting foundation and legacy when we're no longer here? So I say all that to say, like, to take something on my back and then have this moment where I feel like asking me about what happened at XYZ why you no longer XYZ, all these things. And there's people that have come that know what happened. They already been enlightened on the situation. But they'll come to you and talk to you in conversation from a perspective as they don't know, or they are unbeknownst, or they are not knowledgeable of what happened with that place, organization, business, whatever you want to label somewhere you worked at. And it's been putting me in a space lately, no pun intended, of get back. When I say get back, revenge or redemption. One of the things about redemption is it says right here, the action of regaining or gaining possession of something in exchange for payment or clearing a debt. So I have a debt to clear with, first of all, I take accountability for my actions. I believe that's one of the most important pieces, ingredients of being an adult or showcasing maturity. Being able to take accountability for your errors, your wrongs, things you could have did better, and accepting that, because I believe self-forgiveness is one of the most intricate pieces of us, me being I, you, being able to forgive self for when you commit flaws or errors, or you commit actions that you might have in the heat of the moment, because these days the word is crash out, but you didn't take into accountability, hey, this is the boat that keeps me afloat. This is the basis of everything. We might not want to say that a job is not the most important thing to us, but at the end of the day, our careers, our jobs, the ways that we was garner and occur monies to support ourselves, because ourselves is the foundation of our world. Those we gotta take care of. In my case, my 17-year-old daughter. My household bills, savings to be able to pivot certain ways you might want to pivot, or do things that it is that you have been wanting to accomplish, or goals you set forward, or dreams you want to make come true. And with saying all that, excuse the but just being in a position of where you feel like you've been outcasted or exiled, or everybody's kind of like, whoa, yeah, man, I can't rock with you like that, or whatever it is in that scenario. But when you're in a position where people are giving you a certain level of respect, and even if it's sincere or it's artificial, still people will be around you when things are good, or they consider they're moving in a manner that's positive, or that's something that they can be around you to camouflage themselves and be like, I'll rock with you. You my dude, Space. It ain't nothing but love for you, bro. Man, I tell you what, man, I'm so proud of you, XYZ. Which I don't get a lot of the pride of you. Which that's on another episode. Because I'm big on telling myself I'm proud of myself. That's something I learned from my mother. Reaching out for her to tell me she's proud of me, and she always taught me, hey, make yourself proud, that's how you make me proud. And my Papa Pooh would say the exact same thing. So I just was in a space I've been in a space, I'm trying to elevate out that space at this current time, of trying to change the narrative, or bring the wheel back on course, back in the road. Jesus take the wheel. I believe in that phrase as well. So I have to take that anger, that disappointment, that feeling of betrayal or disloyalty, or being labeled, or maybe somebody might say, you have an anger issue, or you have an attitude problem, or you don't know how to walk away, or you don't know how to uh, remove yourself from conflict, which is something some people might say I've struggled with, but it's not necessarily a struggle when there's been a lot. I've lost some things by standing on who I am as a person and what I believe is right and wrong, and fighting for equality, change as well. And I've gained some things, weirdly enough. A lot of things I've gained. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a gift and a curse. Because one thing I have learned is I have an outgoing personality. And my outgoing personality makes me, conversate with people. I might not know them from a can of paint. Showcase who I am as a person. If you see me opening the door, like if I open, you see me holding the door open for people, whether I'm at the store, a restaurant, grocery store. That's just the part of my character. Just like, it's like I take it like this. And my great grandmother was still here, God rest her soul. My grandma Emma Lou Wallington Cook gun, Grandma Emma G. And how would she? Because I know she's looking down on me, like she's looking down on all my family, all her family. How would she see it as the great grandson that she raised to be the person that? Because she always believed in my potential. She always believed in my artistic gifts. If somebody's coming behind me and I can't hold the door open for them, and when I walk in, I let the door just swing back. It might hit them in the face, whatever it is. I'd rather open the door, you get in safe, boom, especially when it comes to women. And I do it for men as well, but women first, of course. So, just taking that into account, I learned through this process that a lot of people are fearful of other human beings or other citizens or other members of society. Not necessarily fearful, like I'm afraid this person might hurt me, or do something egregious to me, or do something bad to me, or being weary of people. I'm saying that a fear as far as that fuels that hesitation, that fuels that. I'm trying to find the correct word. That hesitation of, hey, well, I'm gonna just read the room, and if you come introduce yourself to me, cool, we can conversate. But I look at like me and my little brother, KP. We're both Scorpios. Our birthdays are 3 days apart. We have a five-year age difference, and we're very much alike. But he's an extrovert. He's an introvert extrovert. I'm a introvert. I'm an extrovert introvert. I'm gonna say that again. I am an extrovert introvert. He's an introvert extrovert. So I'm outgoing. I conversate with people. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a people person. It's just the way my heart is set up. And the way that coming up through as a young man through bullying and mass bullying, egregious levels of bullying, it made me it energized me like when I get on the stage and I'm performing my music, or they used to say picture everyone in the crowd audience naked, and that's how you release the nerves of being on stage in front of people. Well, I'm actually the opposite of that. I picture me being on stage naked and me standing in front of the audience. And you might say, why do I look at it like that? Why is that your perspective, Space? Why do you go on stage and that's how you feel? Because I feel like when you've been suppressed so long and compressed so long, and this is a natural thing in society. Like, it's dog eat dog out in this world anyway, but it's people that are so envious or so jealous of the gifts that you are naturally blessed with through the Most High, that for them to clap it up for you feels like somebody just clapped them. You get what I'm saying? For them to clap it up for you feels like somebody just clapped them. So instead of giving you your flowers and trying to push through that envy and that hatred. Some people just remain in that place because it doesn't matter what you do. It's just how some people are created. But my whole point in being is when I say the extrovert, introvert, I'm an outgoing person, things of that nature. I talk to people, I acknowledge people. But at the end of the day, when I'm away from, whether it be a place I'm employed at, whether it was when I was in college, whether it be even if I go into town just to get groceries or things of that nature, I'm come to a space of space when I come home, when I come here. I try to keep a control or keep. I try to keep order on what individuals come around me. The same way I try to control what individuals I choose to be around, what places I choose to be, and what places I choose not to be. I would never say that I'm better than anybody. I just know what I'm better than. Meaning, you might do X, Y, Z, and you're used to the world looking down on you. I might do X, Y, Z. You might look down on me about something. But that's not what it's about. See, I feel like me, as the man that I am, as a person, I know that I feel like I'm better than shoot myself up with heroin or take fentanyl, things of that nature, or do crack cocaine, things of that nature. I mean, I got my own vices. I like a cold beer. I'll take a shot or two with you. And of course, I love my peace leaf. You know what I'm talking about? And even when it comes to the realm of opioids or uppers or downers, even in that space, it's like, I might dibble and dabble here and there. But at the end of the day, my whole point of being is, as much as outgoing as I am, I'm also that reserved with myself about things as well. Now, the opposite of what my little brother is, he's not going to rush to shake your hand or introduce himself to you or things of that nature. But behind the scenes, if you know him like I do, which a lot of people don't, but those that have the pleasure and the blessing of getting to know him behind who public sees will understand, like, yo, man. Because I would tell anybody, I would never downplay my intelligence, but I will tell anybody, my little brother is the most intelligent human being I've ever met. And so when I say these things to say, back to a redemption space. Redemption can be done in a nasty, disrespectful, distasteful way. Very sinister. You might have done something to somebody years ago. Could have even been you guys went to school together. You see them out and about somewhere, and you choose to jump on them, crash out on them. You might try to assault them with a weapon, whatever it is, all for something way back in the day. That's like the negative energy. That's like the darkness of redemption. Then there's the other side of redemption. One of the words that connects with redemption and revenge is redeem. And my redemption falls on the basis of, okay, I've seen me, like I was telling somebody the other day, my papa Pool to be precise, like we watch college football games, I love college football, or NFL games, let's talk about everybody abroad in general, football fans. How many times have you seen the plays where like a guy intercepts the ball on defense and he's running to the end zone and he's so excited and so adrenaline rushes so hard that he drops the ball right before he crosses the plane into the goal line to make it an official touchdown. Then somehow the ball rolls out the back of the end zone or whatever the case may be. So you went from about to put 6 points on the board for your team to potentially giving the opposition 8 points because you were right there at the goal line and you chose to celebrate or get comfortable before you completed the whole play. So So my redemption falls in the basis of that. It's been periods in my life, whether it be with music, whether it be with my I can't say that it's not going away, but my target focus is wanting to be a psychologist for and definitely for the young folk. I'm big on the youth. Wanting to be a guidance counselor for high school students. School teacher. Once upon a time, I actually applied to be a school teacher at my alma mater. Not technically speaking, I dropped out in the first semester of my 12th grade year. Barley Yancey. Buccaneers all day. We ain't nothing to buck with. You know what I'm talking about? But there's been scenarios and areas like that where, hey, all I had to do was just break the plane with the ball in my hands, pause, and score that touchdown. And I got comfortable, or I got lax, or I felt like I was sustained in a way that, hey, my position can't be, it's not just going to be tossed away or be stripped from it or be taken from it. I'm good. And that's one of the flaws of humans, comfortability. See, so many rappers got so many songs about rappers, even R&B singers, maybe even pop stars, about don't get too comfortable. They're not necessarily talking about where the standpoint, perspective, the take that I'm coming from. They talk about they're with a woman, telling the woman don't get too comfortable. But they're also saying, in relation to what I'm saying, they're telling the woman not to get too comfortable because, hey, you can be replaced. It's the same thing that Beyonce was saying in Irreplaceable. You know, you can be replaced. Don't ever think that when you're right here, don't get so big in your head that you think you're up here. And in the blink of an eye, you can't be brought back down to here, which is what happened to me in the current situation. So all of that energy for everything that happened, it's been a fuel. It's been a fuel to the fire, the desire, the thirst, the journey, the mission to accomplish my goals or turn my dreams into truth. Things in nature, because I come from a city. A lot of people have, as I like to say it all the time, we're a small city of big dreamers. We're a small city with a big heart. But that's where the redemption comes from me, and that's me telling you how it's me instituting my life. But the meaning is for me is to definitely, for everything that I felt from in a negative space. Very critical levels. Like in this household, crying my eyes out, and sitting in the corner, and just feeling like I feel like I'm in everybody's way. And most times of that nature, like they're almost like clutch moments in a basketball game or a football game or any kind of athletic event. Like, we pick up the phone, we need to talk to mama, we need to talk to daddy, we need EMS here, we're having these type of thoughts. We're going off the grid like this right here, we need help right now, somebody help me, please. But it takes a strong strength of character to pull yourself up and say, hey, wipe them tears. Remember, head up, prayers up, chin up. Or prayers up, head up, chin up. I tell people this all the time on my social media. Make sure you please follow follow me on TikTok at SuperSpace. At SuperSpace, I want to say it's SuperSpace 23. I'm not always sure. I can't see it right now at this moment. But SUUUPERSPACE. Make sure you also add me on my Facebook, which is Facebook, and Gnarly Sheen. First name Gnarly, GNARLY, last name Sheen, and that's last name Sheen, first name Gnarly. Remember that. And make sure tap in with a super friend, because I got so many more things coming and happening. And this is my YouTube channel, a Space Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, view, But just had to segue to that for a second. But I just want to talk about redemption tonight, to put emphasis on, we have to take that get back for vengeance. Like, somebody hurt you in such a way that you put a level of trust in, you want to make them feel the same way they made you feel. That's the negative of redemption via revenge. Or you take that painful negative energy that we had to deal with and root when another individual or a collective of individuals, or it might even be your own city sometimes, which is in my case, and say, okay, so this is how I got done. So okay, let me get on my grind. Let me work out. Let me get my fitness on. Let me get this body right. Let me give me another place. Let me get employed somewhere else and take these lessons that I learned from this situation and institute them in my next place of employment. Okay, my daughter, my mama, daddy. Look, I haven't always been physically present and saying like, yo, I might have not been there, but I'm always here. I've never been absent from your life. No matter what energies try to keep us like this, it's nothing for you to get in touch with your father. And she knows that. And that's one of the things that solidifies our bond as father and daughter. But my whole point in being is taking that energy that comes with redemption and taking and utilizing it in the proper way. And I hope that's what I'm able to showcase all along. But like I know what's the things that are becoming a part of my daily routine. I just hope they're instituted to a level of people see that I took, okay, you heard about me go through this bad situation. Some of you seen it for yourself. But now that door closed for this one right here to open. Because if that door would have never closed, I would have never seen that one open. Because that's what life is about. What keeps me going every day is the what if of life. The what if of life. Quote, the what if of life. That unknowing when you wake up, God willing, hey, today could be the day I'm walking out on the road to go check the mailbox and somebody threw a brown paper bag and I found $6,000. I don't know whose it is. Somebody whoever threw it might know, or maybe they threw the bag out and forgot. Who knows? But finding that brown bag with that amount of currency in it could change your life in the blink of an eye like that. Or who knows? You can step out and something is going down, a tumultuous situation that people are at risk of getting hurt on a physical level, and you can accidentally become a victim of that, or you could end up like in my personal. In cases for me personally, I've seen the passing of my older brother, William Bernard Jr., right across the street from where I reside when I was 16 years old. Passed in my arms, was en route of passing when we had him. Another young man, I don't want to put names out there because the event is still kind of fresh or whatnot, and I don't want to offend anybody. But I seen the passing of a young man. I seen this large. I want to say maybe it was intestine. I can't really be precise about that, but I was hanging outside of his body and whatnot, and seeing how they looked in that moment right there, I knew there's nothing we could do. I have a very close friend of mine. We worked at a McDonald's down here together, and a very young man. If I had to say if I ever had a son, I seen me as more than an older brother to him. I looked at him like a son. I really did. And his admiration for me, his respect for me, his love and care for me, whatever, was on that type of level. But I never knew the day that having with the partner I was with at the time, they make a decision to go to a facility for rehabilitation, and I wake up out of that same nap, already knowing that this person who did that, but I wake up out of that same nap, and one of my best friends I ever had in this universe, it almost felt like he was like Lenny reincarnated to me, passes away by just random trying to protect someone close to him. But that's what I'm saying about that what if. I try to look at the positive of the what if. If you put a lot of applications in, then the door is open for plenty of opportunity for that what if to be a call to be employed at a certain place. You never know. But it keeps me fueled and it keeps me driven. Because like I always preach on this podcast, and you always hear me personally preach, life is not about the destination. Excuse me. Life is not about the journey. Life is about the destination. We don't necessarily care about what we got to go through en route to where we're going. We just care about where we're going. Prime example. If you hear a lot of older people, elderly people that are religious, and I heard this a lot growing up when I was a little boy. I've heard it in my years, my later years as well. But they get into pressure moments and tense and trying times and tense times, and you might hear them say, "Oh, this world is so nasty, it's so wicked and evil, but my Lord and Savior got a better one planned for me after this one right here." Then they're telling you exactly what I just said to you. They're not worried about the journey. They're worried about the destination. And they feel that that destination, after we or lose life, or where what we call our final days, when God calls us home, or have whatever kind of context you want to put it in, the destination of where we're headed, up there or down here, who knows what to expect after we experience that. We don't have nobody to come back from it to tell us what it's like. But that goes back to what I mean. It's not about the journey. It's about the destination. You can see me walk up and down the highway a million times, but people see me walking up and down the highway now. And I hope to change it soon. But instead of, like, when school bus comes by with the bus driver and the children on or the inhabitants of the public transportation to school, or might be a car rider with his mom or dad or whatnot headed to school, and they see me, Space, walking up the highway, and a kid might say, "What's wrong with that man right there, mommy? What's wrong with that man right there, daddy?" Whether male or female. The parents got their right then to say whatever it is they want to tell their child. One might say, "He crazy. You know, I wouldn't be walking this far or whatnot." That's fine. Somebody say, "Oh man, he tripping, man. He bugging, man. I don't even know what he walking to town for or whatever." But one thing that we blind ourselves to in society is, did you tell him what my destination was? Did you tell him that I was on the way to work? Did you tell him I was on the way to school? I mean, did you tell them that the reason I was able to graduate from our local community college and walk the stage, which is kind of my redemption for dropping out of high school, because I could put my pride to the side to say, hey, okay, so what? I'm not graduating with my graduating class. I just graduate behind them. When in actuality, I'm one of the oldest members, if not the oldest member of my graduating class. Because technically speaking, due to the date of my birthday being in November, I started school late behind the class before me, which is the one I was supposed to be a part of. So this goes back to me saying, did you tell them, back to the graduating community college, there's a scholarship, it's the Bright Leaf Scholarship if I'm not mistaken. But when I was attending Piedmont Community College, it wasn't offered to transfer students, because I went for my associate's degree and I was looking to take that degree and transfer to North Carolina Central. Shout out to them Eagles. I'm the African American Eagle, remember that. And they didn't offer the scholarship to transfer students. And when I posed the question to this policy and the scholarship, one of my biggest foundations of that debate was, we are, what word am I looking for? Aspiring transfer students. We need those funds from the scholarship, because we're trying to go from this college to this college. We're trying to continue our education. So I had to type up a letter, and I had some representatives down at PCC, some very close associates of mine and whatnot. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Instructors, people that got to actually meet me while on my educational journey. And one of the of one of the main foundations of them overturning that policy in that scholarship, which now is offered to transfer students, was the instructors and those at the community college which I attended, knowing my personal story of me walking rain, sleet, snow to school and back home, and getting on crutches and hobbling my way all the way to school. And the higher ups in charge of the scholarship and the policies within it, one of the things they spoke in volume was, hey, this young man is a representation of hard work, determination, desire, ambition. All these words we're going to use to reach a goal or complete the mission. So I say all these things on the grounds of saying, in a redemption space, if I don't want to be in a city like that as much as I once prior was, that goes to my redemption space. Because there's been a lot of individuals, and not saying no names at all, but when they felt like I was here, then it was cool then. But when they feel like I'm down here, it's like, well, I don't know. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. Because one thing about me, I never walked this earth searching or seeking for acceptance. I've been outcasted since I came out the womb, even carrying my father's name, carrying his name along. I already had a shadow cast upon my own life. Oh, he's gonna just like his dad. Oh my God, that's his son. He's gonna be just like him. I know he is. Things of that nature. A lot of coming up when I was younger in elementary school, middle school, elementary school in particular, because it kind of like helped shape how I looked at friendships. One table, you know, are those Jordans on your feet? You gonna get those new shoes? What you rocking today? What clothes you got on? You know, checking out how much your parents who worked their ass off for you to have nice, presentable clothes to go to school, seeking your education. And we're worried about the labels on it. Well, I'm not that type of guy. When I was a child or in elementary school, I loved video games. I loved Saturday morning cartoons. I loved cartoons, period. I was in my head the whole time. My grandma and Malou put the notebook in front of me, and I used to try to rewrite songs on the TV when the collector CDs would come down with all the old songs on the old hits or whatnot. I would try to rewrite those songs on the paper. Being the first song, this is very important to the foundations of myself. The first song I ever tried to rewrite myself in the notebook was Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. If you don't know me by now, if you don't know me by now, then you will never ever know me. I don't really like want to sing the harmony right now, but I had to go back into that bag of saying, hey, I have been so outgoing that I didn't really know that I was really the show the whole time. When I think I'm embracing showing love or whatnot, or being outgoing and dancing or whatever, I love to dance. I still say I don't think nobody in my graduating class except for one guy. You know who he is. T. Steve can mess with me on the dance floor. But that's on another story. We're not focused on that right now. But it took me some time to learn that I've been everybody else's show while just being myself, being outgoing, not having any fear or apprehension of introducing myself to people or trying to reveal to the world who I am. Wearing my heart on my sleeve, as I used to say, it would say naturally. I didn't really understand at the time that I was kind of being watched in a way like it made me look like I'm laughable or I'm comical or finding the ruha-ha, the laughter, and me showcasing who I am to the world, society, my city, my family, the list goes on. But they didn't see the flip side where my perspective was. You might see me as a show and you might be laughing at me behind my back, but the whole time that I'm in here introducing myself to people and stuff like that, I am creating a space of comfort and security in large crowds or whatever it might be, so I can protect my safety. So if I am the show to you, for you to laugh and create rumors and narratives about it, whatever, then cool, do that. But also understand that it's a flip side of that. Where it's been negative, here comes the positive. That's made people have a certain type of love for me, or look at me from a different standpoint or vantage point or perspective than others may. Some people love it because when they come, I've seen it over and over and over again. And I didn't give myself the name Space. Fate did this. But there are men, women, men that act one way in front of a crowd of people so they can fit into what's popular, because they care about being accepted by the people that you consider popular or whatever it might be. But when they get in privacy or behind the scenes with Space, they are in a whole different space. Okay, so we can listen to all the trap music and all that or whatever stuff that's on the radio or whatever that the popular percentage is listening to, but that's not really what I even listen to. It's just being played because that's what everybody over there is listening to. Yeah, they do it like that, but I do it like this. But behind the scenes, oh, so you can listen to the Kanye West The Graduation now because you with Space, so you don't got to worry about being judged. You don't got to live up to no standards. You don't got to worry about being seen as corny or anything of that nature. Now you're in a safe space because you're dealing with an individual that's not going to judge you no kind of way. This is what I do. So it's people that, go with that role in society for the public so they can be embraced and accepted. Because let's be honest, nobody want to be outcasted. Nobody want to be exiled. Nobody want to be, pushed away, things of that nature. But what a lot of people don't understand is that's what made me my best friend. A lot of people don't know how to be their own best friend. I am my best friend. I go through some of the saddest moments, some of the happiest moments, but I'm still the best friend to myself. And being a natural born loner made me like that. When we used to go play ball at our local recreation center, when all the older guys that I hung out with or whatever, that I took my share of bullying and teasing and all that from, like most of us do in our childhood years. When the recreation center closed, it's enforced. Grandma Malou. When the rec closed, you come home. So I didn't really get the experience, like, what are the older guys doing up there? Or they tried a cigarette, or they tried marijuana, things of that nature. That all missed me because I had a great grandmother who always had pure intentions for me to elevate and really be something. And so she kind of put me in a space of like, okay, I'm cultivating you, and I'm not going to let the streets or society cultivate you. You're going to be cultivated in a way where, hey, even when you get low, you know how to pick your spirits up, get your spirits back high. Even when you're alone, you still know how to have fun. You know how to laugh with yourself. You know how to create entertainment for yourself by yourself. And so that is a strong trait that has really got me very far in this world that we live in. And it helps keep my confidence sustained, my self-esteem sustained, determination, things of that nature. So when I say a redemption space, and I thank you for anybody tuning in tonight, I'm just talking about, going through troubles and trials and tribulations, but using that need for redemption, that need for revenge, to get that validation to yourself. They did that to me, but look at me now. Well, using it in a positive way to fuel whatever it is that you're doing. Because we're all human. People gonna make erratic decisions. They're gonna make bad choices. They're gonna misjudge you. I mean, I've been married to the first missus that I met was misunderstood. So I've been married to her since I came out the womb, pretty much. Just saying. I mean, I used to walk around the city with a mohawk, which is one of the things I'm most notoriously known for. I didn't care about opinions. I didn't care if anybody liked it or not. The only opinions I cared about were mine. And when people seen that fearlessness to move like that, that made a array of people, some motivated, some inspired, to be like, yo, he really like don't care what anybody think. He really like cares about making himself happy. And you either gonna surf with it or you're not. And so we just talking about a redemption. Thank y'all for anybody tuned in. Please check me out. SpaceMANN Podcast is now officially on YouTube. That's at a space for space podcast, a capital A S capital S PACE capital FOR capital SPACE. Like, comment, subscribe. You can follow me on TikTok at SuperSpace20 at SuperSpace. I want to say SuperSpace23. It might be SuperSpace23 or it's either SuperSpace, but it's all lowercase. SUUU. There's 3 U's. PERSPACE. And make sure you add me on which is probably my most public social media site, Facebook. I call it my Spacebook. And Gnarly Sheen, that's GANARLYSHEEN. That's last name Sheen, first name Gnarly. You know we came to start. You know we came to make this a beach party. Make sure you check, and you also check out my music. You can research Young Spaceman. That's with 2 N's, YOUNG, SPACEMANN, and Shawshank the Ghost Producer. I Am So Super, my debut album. I have other playlists. I call them mixtapes, but I mean, but like seriously speaking, they're considered playlists on my SoundCloud. Got Waves in the City, the first Sorry for the Space. I hope to give y'all the second, the sequel to the first Sorry for the Space. Sorry for the Space 2, Can't Ban the SpaceMANN, which is one of my mantras and mottos I go by now. You can actually purchase my debut album on cdbaby.com. You can also check out more of the music on Reverb Nation /SpaceMANN23. That's www.reverbnation.com/SpaceMANN23. Add me on SoundCloud. I'm also on Audio Mac as well. So I'm out here. So check me out, man. Look, once again, it's the one and only SPaceMANN, a.k.a. the Space. Love is how you conquer hate. Peace is how you conquer war. Space means stay on top of whatever the hell it is that you're doing, or protect the space that you're in. And I'd like to thank you for tuning in to another episode of a Space to Space podcast. And if you don't do nothing else in this world, man, keep it wavy, baby.